So
That's fair enough. I mean, trying to be mayor is pretty big things to aspire to be. So
yeah.
how do you like get to this point where you're like, I'm gonna go for mayor of NDG? Like that's the move. Like that's what I'm gonna go pursue. It seems like a huge step.
Yeah, I kind of felt like it was organically the right path to follow, given my background in working with the homeless and the housing crisis that's taking place in Montreal now, and pretty well kind of all over Canada. So I kind of thought to myself, what's the next big thing that I can do? You know, where's my life going? I mean, working in the shelter is great, but it's such a small demographic, you know, that I'm working to try to help. So, what's the next step? And so I had heard Balarama Holness on the radio. I think it was CJD, if I'm not mistaken. I was driving the Street Says van on a delivery, and I heard that there was a new party, Movement Montréal, and they were looking for candidates. So I put my name into the hat. I didn't hear anything back really. You know, a couple of weeks went by. I said to myself, okay, well, you know, that's all right. We'll just continue with the grind here. And then lo and behold, one day I was at work and he calls me. He's like, hey, this is Balarama. And I was like, oh, like, okay. He says, yeah, I want to meet up and hear what you're about, what you do. So I met up with him and I explained to him how I want to be a leader, in my community, how I'm from Côte des Neiges, from NDG. I love the neighborhood. I'm involved in so and so community efforts and organizations. And he said, okay, you're in, you're the guy. And that's kind of how it got started. Basically, like hang on tight because this is a big election, and NDG Côte des Neiges is a big borough, and there's a lot going on. It's in the media a lot, for various reasons. And he said you're gonna have your work cut out for you, so best of luck, but we got your back. Yeah.
That's
So
an amazing way to introduce you to it. Like, yo, it's gonna be hard. You can do it. We got you, but you're gonna have to put that work in. I like that.
yeah, yeah, and it's been work, and but it's been amazing. I honestly, I love meeting with people in the borough and talking and hearing about their backgrounds, hearing about, their stories, how they got here, what they like about the borough, what they don't like, what they want to see improve, what's already great. And so it's only kind of, I think, 3 4 weeks in that I announced, but it's the outpouring of support just from, my family and then Facebook has been unbelievable. I'm so lucky, and it's just given me motivation to continue and make myself believe that this is the right thing to do, and this is the right path. So
All right. So let's move a little bit into the more mayoral stuff. What exactly is a mayor of NDG Courtenay responsible for? Like, let's say I were to be like, yo, bro, we got to go vote. And they're like, okay, but what does this guy do? Because when I brought up the fact that I was talking to people, we got a lot of comments that were like Quebec's jurisdiction, stuff that's Montreal's jurisdiction. And I'm like, nah, hold on a second. Y'all don't even know what jurisdiction this NDG like is. So like, what exactly does the mayor of Côte d'Ivoire NDG actually do?
right. So the mayor of Codinez NDG will oversee the projects that are taking place in the borough. They're responsible for, approving plans, setting bylaws, bringing up motions, you know, in charge of overseeing the management of, snow removal, garbage removal, and making sure that the budget is respected and that we're staying within the budget, and that things are running smoothly, that the citizens are happy. And so how the breakdown is: you have the mayor of Montreal, you have the 18 mayor boroughs, or borough mayors rather. Within those boroughs, there are city councillors. In NDG, there are 5 councillors. So there's Darlington, Snowden, Côte des Neiges, Loyola, and NDG, Notre Dame de Grace itself. And then Moro, I think Mauricio, I'm pretty sure you know him.
I do know Mora. Yo, shout out Mora. Yes, he's announced his
Yeah,
candidacy and can now no longer assist me, but he
yeah,
totally got this ball in motion in my life. So shout him out for real. And I think he's on your party, right? You guys are like
yeah,
running mates. Is that the term for
yeah.
it?
Yeah. That's what I'm calling it. He's my running mate. He just announced for Snowden, and I mean, I think since having met him, I think right away there was a connection there, and he's been a major, help and inspiration. And the guy is just ruthless in his investigations and just his knowledge. He's always coming up to me, with research and facts, and you got to mention this, talk about that, talk about how there's no dog parks in Snowden, and but there's 6 parks, and he just knows his stuff and he knows his stats. He's really a thorough individual, and Snowden's going to be lucky to have him, definitely. So big shout out to tomorrow. I just met him recently, but it's already going great. He's just a super kind, smart individual.
All right. So basically, if I understand correctly, you're responsible for managing the budget that exists, making sure that all the people and different departments, like the garbage folk and all of these different systems that exist within NDG, like the city services of NDG, right? Like you
Yeah,
have to
correct.
manage and work out with whoever it is all the different things and make sure that we don't overspend. And then within that, also approve projects. So, like when they build stuff at the park, that would be you that decides if they build something at the park or not.
Right. So I mean, that'll go through the city councilor. Like I'll pass the motion. It'll be approved by the city councilor if they agree, and then the project can get going. Unless there's an objection, whether there'll be a referendum at that point. Yeah.
So you would kickstart the project and oversee like at a top level, and then the city council person. So let's say like they're doing something up at Loyola Park right now. So that would
Hmm.
mean like Sue Montgomery kicked it forward, and then whoever the Loyola person is had to like approve it.
Right. Correct.
That's terrible if I don't know who they are. I don't know who anybody is. But I don't even know who Sue Montgomery is because she's got enough heat right now to be English media worthy.
Yeah. Yeah. She's got her work cut out for sure. Um, yeah.
All right. So that's how it would actually like play out in real life. So you're like the guy who has to make sure that all the council people don't overspend and they like play nice with each other. You're like the boss of the bosses.
Yeah. Well, that's where it becomes, you know, a bit sticky in the sense that it's not guaranteed that a city councilor will be part of my party as well, right?
Oh.
So there could be a city councilor represented with Projet Montréal, and let's say I'm with Movement Montréal. So at that point, we kind of have to collaborate, and depending, usually it's supposed to be at the best interests of the citizens and the people. The project gets passed, but that's when you kind of get into the politics and the political games. Hopefully, not too much. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's gonna be a lot of games or not. All I know is I hope to talk to all of you, and that sounds like super interesting to me, because I just learned how a little bit more of the city of NDG functions in a practical way, and I really appreciate that. I mean, for you it might sound goofy for me to be like that, but I'm like, yo, how did I go my whole life and not know that that's how it works? But that's kind of why we're here.